It was on the Sabbath that Jesus and his disciples arrived in his hometown of Nazareth. And they went into the synagogue. Jesus began to teach as he had done elsewhere. And many of those who heard him were astonished. One asked,
"Where did he gain this wisdom? What are all these stories we've been hearing about the signs and healings he's been performing? Where did he get that kind of power? Isn't this Jesus, the little boy we used to see in Joseph's carpenter shop? Didn't he grow up to be a carpenter like his father? Isn't he the son of Mary over there, with the brother of James and Simon and his sisters? I mean, who does he think he is?"
the people, like crabs in a barrel, couldn't really see past Jesus's pedigree. He was supposed to be one of them, and one of them was just normal. So his neighbors, the people who he had grown up with, became indignant and would not listen to his message.
Right.
Jesus responded with a familiar quote.
You see, a prophet is without honor in his own hometown, among his own people, in his own household.
It was because of their unbelief Jesus could not do many miracles there. He toured in the villages and he sent his disciples out in pairs. He gave them authority over demons. He instructed them to take no money, no bread, no bag. The only thing they were sent out with were a staff, the sandals on their feet, and the coat on their back. And he gave them simple instructions.
When you go to a home, stay there. If someone does not accept you or your message, when it is time to leave, shake the dust off your feet and keep stepping.
That's right.
And so his disciples did exactly what Jesus said do. They went out into the countryside, preaching the gospel just as Jesus had taught them. They cast out unclean spirits. They anointed the sick with oil to heal them. The disciples, they returned with such great excitement, telling Jesus what they had done, whom they had seen out on their journeys, and how they had spread the news of God's kingdom everywhere. It was not long after that that those religious leaders came to talk to, well, rather try to trip Jesus up.
Why do your disciples eat bread with unwashed hands?
Now you need to know that during this time, all Jews followed the rituals of their ancestors. That included washing their hands and dishes in a meticulous manner.
Why don't your disciples follow the tradition passed down?
Why do they eat their bread with defiled hands?
You see, you cling blindly to your traditions, like washing cups and utensils, but you totally miss God's command. You see, what you eat cannot destroy you.
Jesus went on to declare that there is nothing outside someone that can corrupt him or her. Only the things that come out of a person can corrupt. When they walked away, his disciples asked him,
"Teacher, what did you mean by what you said back there?"
Well, what I meant was, what you eat cannot contaminate you. It cannot enter into your heart. It goes into your stomach, through your intestines, and back out. So what I'm saying is, all foods are pure.
The disciples looked around at each other again, confused. Jesus continued by telling them that it's what comes out of a person that is unclean. Things like evil thoughts, theft, murder, adultery, greed, jealousy, slander, pride, foolishness. All of them come from within. Jesus makes it clear in this passage that he is more concerned about what is in his followers' hearts than what they put in their mouths. Mark tells us that Jesus and the disciples kept moving until they returned to the region of the Sea of Galilee. It was there that some people brought a man who could neither hear nor speak. And they asked Jesus to lay a healing hand on him. Jesus approached the man. He put his fingers in the man's ears and some spit on the man's tongue. Then Jesus looked up in prayer and commanded,
Open up!
and it happened. The man's hearing was clear and his speech plain. Just like that, Jesus urged the man and everybody there not to tell anybody, but they couldn't keep it to themselves.
Have you heard about Jesus?